So, first thing I think is important to understand is in college, you learn to write a 2-page or a 1-page resume. Federal resumes are typically 5 to 7 pages. So the first thing I would tell you in creating your federal resume is to forget everything you ever learned. The other thing that I want to mention, because I know that many of you listening to this are former academics or researchers, and that is that a resume is not the same thing as a CV. And what I'm going to focus on here is a resume, a federal resume. Also, an overarching concept for federal resumes, and frankly, this works for private sector resumes as well, and that is the importance of using keywords to describe your experience. There is absolutely no excuse for not targeting your resume for every single job posting you apply for. There is no such thing in this age of word processing as a generic resume. You must target your resume to specific announcements. And again, this goes for whether you're in the federal or private sector. Resumes use action verbs, and action verbs do not end in S. Resumes are written in first person implied, which means you don't use personal pronouns, and your verbs should be lead, manage, analyze, write. If you put S's on the end of those words, you take it to third person, and that is not appropriate. Please do not copy and paste your position description and call it your resume. PDs are an alien language. No one in the universe uses the word incumbent, and it is always obvious when, in fact, an applicant has copied and pasted their PD and put it in their resume. Do not do it. I think it is really important to think about who your audience is for your resume. Most of us write for ourselves, or we write for our supervisors. But in the federal process, the first gatekeeper is HR. And if they cannot understand your language or what you're talking about, the chances are is you'll never get past them and get before the hiring manager. So really, who you are writing your resume for is HR. Now, just because your resume is 5 to 7 pages, it would be great if you can show me in the first page or page and a half that you're qualified for the job. I do not have to want to get to page 7 to figure out whether you're qualified or not. I am a huge fan of including accomplishments to demonstrate that you can achieve results. Because if your resume does not include accomplishments or achievements, it's like telling the reader, I do this, I do that, I do the other thing. Trust me, I do it well. No, I'm not going to trust you. I don't even know you as the HR person. You've got to prove to me that not only do you do X, Y, and Z, but that you do X, Y, and Z well, and you have added value to your employers. And metrics, too, are helpful in giving context to your work. And this goes back to your audience. Your audience is HR. Your audience does not know that you do quarterly analyses or reports. Your audience, meaning HR, does not know that you do weekly inspections across a 3-state area. You have to communicate that through your resume.